Welcome to the month of April in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which honestly I think might be the best month in the entire game. It is packed full of all kinds of exciting activities, major events to enjoy, items to collect, and so much more. So, like I do every single month, I'm going to be sharing all of the updates and changes going on around your island in Animal Crossing New Horizons, as there is so much to unpack for this month. We're going to start this video off by taking a look at the most major event happening in the month, which happens to be Bunny Day. The main Bunny Day event itself will happen on April the 9th, but it will kind of happen throughout the whole week beforehand, where you'll be able to first meet up with Zippity Bunny and start collecting some of his many colourful eggs around your island on the different trees, in rocks, in the sea, and more. The main event, like I mentioned though, is on April the 9th, and you'll be able to see Zippity Bunny in the Resident Services Plaza, where you can talk to him to get some details about the event. You're basically going to need to collect and craft a ton of different items that become available for the Bunny Day event. Now, Bunny Day is a bit of an infamous event in Animal Crossing New Horizons, especially the very first iteration of it, where it lasted for a whole 2 weeks and basically took over your island. But thankfully, as of the year of me making this video, Bunny Day is honestly pretty balanced and a pretty fun event. There are so many different Bunny Day related items that you need to collect, and you're going to need a ton of different eggs if you want to get all of them, so you'll really have to search thoroughly around the whole island to get every single type. As you can see here from what I'm showing off on screen, this is some of the many Bunny Day items which you'll find in DIY recipes. Honestly, even 3 years later after the launch of New Horizons, I still don't think I have every single Bunny Day recipe yet, so as you can see, it is a pretty big event. So it's definitely not an event that you want to miss. Throughout the early half of April, make sure you start collecting those eggs, and then on April 9th, hopefully you'll be able to collect and craft a ton of different Bunny Day items which become available, and talk to Zippity Bunny, the legend himself. Now let's have a quick word from today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Eating better should never be stressful, and with HelloFresh, it doesn't have to be. I often find myself staring blankly at the fridge, not knowing what to make for dinner at all. It can be so hard to get inspired. Thankfully, HelloFresh allows you to choose from so many different recipes each week, packed with fresh ingredients. Everything arrives pre-portioned and right at your doorstep, which is very convenient. It means no more late night trips to the only grocery place open when you've run out of food. These are chef-crafted recipes, and honestly, they're seriously good. And who doesn't love a treat? They're giving away new subscribers 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while the subscription is active if you're in the US. Click the link in the description or use my code to get 10 free boxes plus free breakfast for life. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Next, as a part of the Bunny Day event, Nook's Cranny will be selling some Bunny Day themed items for a limited amount of time, basically up until the Bunny Day event is over. And honestly, some of the Bunny Day items you can get in Nook's Cranny are amazing. Like you can see with this Bunny Day tree here, they have a little bit of a different aesthetic from the usual Bunny Day items you can craft. These are a little bit less colorful, more muted, but they look so good. And honestly, I wish all of the Bunny Day items had looked exactly like these ones do. There aren't many of them, but it's definitely worth heading into Nook's Cranny every single day so you can see which ones are available so you can purchase them all. Another favorite of mine happens to be the Bunny Day planter, which is one of the best event items in the game, I feel. I always really enjoy it when Nook's Cranny gets involved with some of the many events in the game. It's just a nice little fun integration, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned this one to you as well, so that you didn't miss it. Another seasonal event which is happening from April the 1st to the 30th is Prom season. Now, this seasonal event is much more minor than Bunny Day, but it's still a cool little addition to the game. You'll be able to head into the Able Sisters throughout the month and start to collect prom outfits, of which there'll be lots of different variations for you to collect. This is of course to celebrate prom that is typically happening in America around the same time, I believe. So basically, this mini event gives you an extra reason to head into Able Sisters to see if they have a limited time outfit that generally you cannot get throughout the rest of the year, so this is the only period which you'll be able to do so. You can also head to the Nook shopping tab, which will have some prom themed items for you to collect to celebrate the event as well. They have a wallpaper and a flooring, and then also a sash which can go with the outfit that you get from the Able Sisters. So yeah, this event isn't really a big deal when it comes to others like Bunny Day, but it's still a fun little addition that just gives you an extra purpose to check into the Able Sisters, and of course collect some neat limited time items from that Nook shopping tab as well. It's also a good way to recreate Prom if you can't do that in real life. Now we have my absolute favorite part of the whole month of April, something beloved by Animal Crossing fans. We have Cherry Blossom season. From the 1st until the 10th, cherry blossoms will take over your island. The regular hardwood trees will become pink with cherry blossom petals, and you'll also be able to catch cherry blossom petals in the air with your net, and then craft a whole bunch of cherry blossom themed items with them. This is an absolutely glorious time, and it perfectly summarizes spring. Our islands just look so pretty, and as the month goes on, you'll see even more cherry blossom petals actually raining down from the sky, and in your rivers as well, so the aesthetics of this event are honestly unbeaten. This has always been my absolute favorite time in all of Animal Crossing, not just New Horizons, but every single Animal Crossing game, and it is beloved by so many players. Also, just take a look at some of the cherry blossom items that you'll be able to craft using the petals that you catch with your net. They are absolutely amazing. There's a really great variety of some of the best possible items that you can find in your time playing. So yes, definitely make sure to enjoy the Cherry Blossom season whilst it lasts. It is one of the shortest and most fleeting events in the whole game, but it is still one of the absolute best in the entire game in my opinion, so it is something that you absolutely cannot miss. Cherry Blossom petals, of course, are seasonal materials that you can collect, but there are some others too. For example, Young Spring Bamboo is still around for those in the Northern Hemisphere and will be throughout the whole month of April. So if you want to craft some of those really neat bamboo items that are available in the game that you can find in balloons and such, then you should definitely do so throughout this month. If you happen to be in the Southern Hemisphere, then you can collect pine cones and acorns, and there are a whole bunch of different items them too. Not to mention the fact that on Harv's Island you can see Cornema, who will actually help you out by giving you some acorns every single day, which is really generous of him. So definitely make sure to collect these seasonal materials. There are some really cool items that you can get in return. We also have some limited time seasonal items which will be available throughout the month of April as well that you can collect. These are as followed. On April the 1st, you'll be able to get a whoopee cushion. Sadly, there's not a proper April Fool's Day event in this game like there were in some past Animal Crossing games, but still a nice little treat. From the 1st until the 10th, you'll be able to collect this Forsythia tree, which happens to celebrate tree planting in Korea. This is one of my absolute favorite items. It is so pretty. We also have the Prom items from the 1st until the 30th that I mentioned earlier. We have a nice little globe for Nature Day from April the 15th until the 22nd. Then right at the end of the month going into May, we have 2 items for Children's Day, a nice little paper hat, and of course the fish banner, a really beloved item by Animal Crossing fans. So there are some really fantastic items that you can collect throughout April that you absolutely will not want to miss. They're some of the best in my opinion. There's also another event that you can enjoy if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. This is the fishing tournament which will happen on April the 8th. Now, don't ask me what Zippity Bunny is doing to CJ here. I have absolutely no idea. This was a very strange glitch that I wasn't expecting. But anyways, the fishing tournament is a nice little event which happens throughout the year, where you'll be tasked to collect a certain amount of fish within a limited period of time. If you can do so, then you'll get some nice rewards from CJ. There are some pretty cool fishing tournament related items to collect. A lot of us have just played this event over and over throughout the history of Animal Crossing New Horizons, so you might be a little bit bored of it. So a little tip I recommend is inviting some friends to play online if you can, because you can actually do that, and honestly, it makes the event a little bit more exciting. I also just really enjoy seeing all my villagers dressed up for this event. I think it's really cute. I don't know, it's something I enjoy a lot. So yeah, it's not one of the most exciting events in the game, but still, I definitely think it's worthwhile to play it a little bit. Next, we have some bush changes that you should know about. The azalea bush will start blooming from April the 11th in the Northern Hemisphere. This is one of the prettiest bushes in the game in my opinion. The camellia will also start blooming from the 1st too. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, then you won't get any new bushes, I believe, but the tea olive bush will stop blooming on April the 30th, so that is something to keep in mind. This is your last chance to really enjoy that bush before it's not in bloom anymore. There are some also really interesting weather patterns that you should know throughout the month as well. For example, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, then you can expect that things will be completely sunny with absolutely no chance of rain from April 1st to the 10th, which of course happens to be the cherry blossom season, so there is a 0% chance of seeing any rain at all. But then from April the 11th all the way until June the 15th, there is a 25% chance of it raining and a 14% chance of heavy rain. So yeah, expect to see a lot of rain throughout this season. There is a very high chance of it. If you are in the southern hemisphere, then from April the 1st until May the 15th, you can expect to see a lot of rain also. This is of course because the cherry blossom season is not happening in the southern hemisphere at this time, so yeah, it can rain. Finally, let's talk about the new bugs, fish, and sea creatures which will be arriving throughout the month, thanks to the help of Game 8. The bugs that will be arriving in April are the common bluebottle, Agrias butterfly, Raja Brooks birdwing, Atlas moth, Madagascan sunset moth, long locust, Dana dragonfly, giant water bug, jewel beetle, and then the flea. Arriving in the southern hemisphere will just be the ladybugs, so not many bugs. Bugs leaving in April will be the tarantula for the northern hemisphere, and then a lot are leaving in the southern hemisphere, which will be the yellow butterfly, bell cricket, red dragonfly, Dana dragonfly, banded dragonfly, stink bug, man-faced stink bug, ladybug, tiger beetle, and then also the scorpion. Now in terms of fish, we have a lot for the northern hemisphere which are arriving. We have the killifish, the crawfish, the snapping turtle, guppy, neon tetra, seahorse, clownfish, surgeonfish, butterfly fish, and then the zebra turkey fish. And arriving in the southern hemisphere will be the yellow perch and the dab. Leaving in the northern hemisphere will be the dab, tuna, and the blue marlin. Leaving in the southern hemisphere will be the snapping turtle, catfish, tilapia, angelfish, beta, rainbow fish, moray eel, ribbon eel, giant trevally, and the mahi-mahi. Finally, for sea creatures, arriving in the northern hemisphere we have the sea pineapple, and arriving in the southern hemisphere we have seaweed, spiny lobster, and Venus flower basket. Leaving in the northern hemisphere will be sea cucumber, snow crab, and spider crab, and then leaving in the southern hemisphere will be giant ice pod and spotted garden eel. So yes, a lot of really exciting updates and changes are happening throughout the month of April that I hope you enjoyed learning about. It's definitely a really great month in the game, full of all kinds of content to enjoy. Let me know what you're most excited for down in the comment section below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on channel notifications for more.